Welcome to Talking EVs, your #1 electric vehicle info depot. Today, we are turning our focus to the interesting EV startup called Rivian, a company that was founded in 2009 by the charismatic Robert R.J. Scaringe in Florida. Initially called Mainstream Motors, they were based in Irvine, California, though it was later renamed Rivian in 2011. The company has its primary manufacturing plant in Normal, Illinois, but other facilities in different cities within United States. Rivian produces SUVs, pickup trucks, and electric delivery vans widely used by multiple renowned organizations and businesses. They earlier emphasized on the abilities of their cars to easily navigate rough terrains and semi-autonomous mobility, sparking widespread interest from industry analysts, EV enthusiasts, and the general public. In 2018, the first two of their products, a truck and electric SUV named the R1T and R1S, were unveiled at the LA Auto Show with production scheduled for 2020. In the same 2018, Rivian saw its workforce rise from 250 to 750 in early 2019, and by November 2021, they had over 9,000 employees. In November 2021, Rivian raised over $13.5 billion in financing, following its initial public offering, with a company valuation of just under $100 billion on its first day of trading and a share at over $100. By late 2021, after challenges related to industry, logistical, and supply chain issues, Rivian started deliveries of its R1T pickup truck. They became the first automaker to introduce a fully electric pickup truck to the Northern American markets, beating the likes of General Motors, Ford, and Tesla. In March 2022, Rivian was on the renowned Times list of 100 most influential companies of the same year. They would later sign multiple high-profile business partnerships that included Amazon and traditional automaker Mercedes-Benz for future expansion in Europe. So with successes comes challenges. What has been happening with Rivian? Why has their initial spark not continued to shine so brightly? A series of challenges started in 2020. Tesla sued Rivian over claims they allegedly stole trade secrets by hiring 4 former Tesla employees, encouraging them to bring sensitive, confidential, and proprietary documents. As we report, this case is unresolved and looks likely headed for trial. Trust your Talking EVs to keep a close watch on this. In March 2022, Rivian faced backlash from customers who had initially put deposits on reservations after the announcement of price increases of 17% for the R1T and 20% for the R1S. Rivian apologized and promised to honor initial full prices for affected customers. In July 2022, Rivian announced it would reduce its workforce by 6% in response to inflation, high auto parts, and high interest rates. And in August 2022, regulatory filings show renowned billionaire investor and fund manager George Soros sold more than 8.5 million of his Rivian shares, which may have eventually been diverted to a rival EV competitor. In February 2023, CNBC reported that Ford Motors had sold off 91 million of its Rivian shares. It is interesting to note that just the previous year, Ford Motors once held 12% of the capital, or the equivalent of 101.9 million Rivian shares. Though Rivian is still backed by Amazon with a 16% controlling stake. In their early days, Rivian had initial plans to build their own exclusive and extensive charging network in North America, though things had now changed. But in June 2023, Rivian, like many other automakers earlier, announced that it would be adopting the Tesla charging network, also known as North American Charging Standard, NACS. So what does this mean for Rivian? Moving forward from this year, existing Rivian trucks and SUVs will soon be able to use Tesla network of superchargers. Though from 2025, forthcoming new trucks and EVs will be built with this charging standard capability. If you recall, Talking EVs has touched on this topic before, so I recommend watching it for a better understanding of what the NACS is all about. That video will be included as a link within the description. In January 2023, the Wall Street Journal reported that Rivian experienced a huge loss with the departure of multiple key executives who had long been with the company. Same year, in October 2023, Rivian ended an exclusive deal with Amazon, which meant an earlier supply of 10,000 electric delivery vans. Though in December 2023, telecommunications giant AT&T announced a well-publicized trial process deal with Rivian for supply of its delivery trucks for their resource fleet. Then again, in February 2024, Rivian announced the sad news of yet another layoffs of 10% of their 16,700 workers. The company had plans for a new Georgia manufacturing plant, meant to produce an impressive 400,000 units annually, but recently announced in March 2024 that plans for this would be delayed. As we can see, Rivian's journey has been a roller coaster ride, and it's far from over. But what does the future hold for them? They are facing a series of multiple challenges that have raised questions about its long-term future. In February 2024, Rivian CEO noted on a conference call to analysts that posted losses totaled $5.4 billion in 2023, though the loss was lesser than the $6.8 billion loss during 2022. In 2023, the company reported that in Q2, they had lost over $32,595 for every vehicle it sold that quarter. In the same Q2, sales numbers were not encouraging at 13,992 in total and 16,034 in Q3. These numbers reflect far much lesser than their initial forecast of 50,000 units, which was later reduced to 25,000 units. A combination of continued burning through cash, less demand for their cars, publicized lawsuits, falling stock market value, and an unmotivated workforce, following the recent public announced layoffs, makes it a tough road ahead. Interestingly, the pricing controversy still stood out. Rivian had initially gained considerable and questionable attention for their high-priced cars. To counter this, in February 2024, like many other EV automakers, Rivian slashed their prices of the R1T and R1S. And in March 2024, they unveiled three new and affordable forthcoming models called the R2, R3, and the Performance R3X. So Rivian is not alone in the very competitive and cutthroat electric vehicle market. EV giants like Tesla, BYD, Li Auto, Ford, General Motors, amongst many others, including traditional automakers, are all vying for a slice of the market pie. It is evident Rivian is very much determined and still investing in infrastructure, refining its business model, and focusing on customer satisfaction. Only time will tell if Rivian can overcome the odds and continue to achieve its ambitious goals. So, does Rivian stand a chance to be a dominant player in the EV market? Tell us what you think. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content.